Good morning, everyone. Welcome along to the Arsenal Tailgate, and it is bright. It's not even bright. I can't even say it's bright and early here in the U.S. because it ain't bright at all. And Glenn jumping in here, and he absolutely can attest to this because I guarantee it's just as dark in New York as it is here in Pittsburgh.
I'm late because my dogs wouldn't come in from the black backyard. And I'm going back, get the F in here, but you can't yell. It's 5:30 in the morning. So, yo, stupid, get the fuck out.
And there we go. That's it is 5:30 in the morning here on the East Coast in America, but it is 10:30. Sam, for you, and Craig, for you in Ireland as well, yeah?
10:31 to be precise.
Yeah. Actually,
gentlemen,
11:30 where I'm living in Norway.
I'm sorry, you're not. I keep forgetting you're not in England. I keep forgetting. Where are you again?
Don't worry, I'm living in Norway at the moment. So,
Norway,
yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
Well, that's all right. I mean, only half an hour till kickoff for you then.
Yeah.
I'm in the future.
Yeah, gentlemen, thank you for joining me as early as what this is. We're going to get into some chat about Leicester and Arsenal today. They kick off at noontime over there in the UK, 7 a.m. here on the East Coast, 4 a.m. on the West Coast. If anybody's up at that ungodly hour, it's 2:30 in the morning for the likes of Sophie from the Highbury squad, Jess, obviously, Jacinho from my channel, her own channel. So.
Yeah. We get it. We all have our own problems. And Craig is wide awake with a big smile sipping.
He is. He pretty much dove into a vat of coffee.
Well rested. I'm well rested.
So we do have one more joining us. Matt is just rebooting some technical difficulties on his end, but he'll be in here in a minute. So, gents, let's get right into it. Sam, I'll start with you. Bukayo Saka is going to need a rest here at some point, isn't he? Is this the game to rest him?
Yeah, you just have to. Even though I would say he doesn't look like he needs a rest. I mean, it still looks like he's still going because he's that, he's that physically capable. But yeah, at some point you just have to, for their sake, you have to let them rest and give them a game, just to catch up and recharge their batteries. He's so young. You just have to. If you keep using these guys, we've seen enough examples of burning out players, haven't we? We don't want that with at the moment he's currently our biggest star, isn't he, Saka? So yeah, we don't want to do that to him.
Craig, we heard during January with the transfer window that we needed to find cover for Emile Smith-Rowe for this exact reason, for giving him rest. So I mean, I don't think we can run the tires off Bukayo Saka, can we?
No, absolutely not. I mean, Arteta's already come out and said that if the players are tired, then he's not going to overrun them. I mean, Saka deserves his rest today. I know a lot of people, I've backed Arteta all throughout this season to get us as high up in the league as possible, and I still want to finish as high up in the league as possible. But at the same time, we mustn't go burning out these young lads. I mean, he has Martinelli and he has Pepe. Either one of them can play in that position. So today, I would hope that Arteta will rest Saka, and I would like to see Pepe and Pepe and Martinelli.
I'm awake now.
Yeah. Pepe and Martinelli on the wings, with perhaps Lacazette up front today. I think because we're away from home against a really good Leicester team, we're going to need a striker that's going to press. I would love to be able to morph Aubameyang and Lacazette together to have, have Aubameyang's goal scoring prowess and Lacazette's press and work rate. It's a game for Lacazette today for me. I'd like to see Pepe, Saka, Lacazette up top. But yeah, to go back to your question, mate, Saka's in dire need of a rest, and he's got to have it today.
Glenn, I'm going to sort of put a different spin on it for you.
What? No, you're not. Because
I'm absolutely putting a different spin on it.
I completely disagree with these two. Sam, good morning. I've met you before.
Morning,
Craig, I've never been on a show with you before. It's an honor. What you've done, Same Old Arsenal, is one of the best channels, man. You guys.
Thanks very much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
And good morning, Red Room, Matt.
Hi, guys.
Real quick, Matt, Craig, and Sam think that Saka should sit today. Since you just joined, and I don't want to disagree so early in the morning, go ahead. Why don't you take that up?
Matt, do you give Bukayo Saka a rest today? And I'll give you the different spin that I was going to give Glenn, since he was adamant that he doesn't get it. We do have a week off here between matches now. We don't play again until next Saturday at Burnley. So does Saka get a rest today for you?
It's a really difficult one. It's like you say, we have got a good, 5-6 days rest between this game and the next. Personally, I think we're running the risk of burning this kid out and playing him until he gets injured. So for me, I think I probably would give him a rest. I think we've got enough on the bench to be able to fill his place. You've got Pepe who could stick on the right, and you've got Martinelli who could go up on the left and still pose problems. So I think we could do that and give him a rest today. That would be my choice, I think.
All right, Glenn. Glenn, have at it.
I can't yell because everybody upstairs is sleeping. This is how you decide if Saka's going to play today. Before the game, you say, "Hey, can you give me 60 minutes, kid?" If he says no, that's the only way he sits. Simple. That's my answer.
He's not going to say no, though.
Yeah,
he's 19 years old. He's living the dream, playing for Arsenal Football Club. As a player, if I was a 19-year-old and the manager comes to me and says, "You look a bit tired," no, I'm not, boss. No, I'm not, boss. Let's get out there. I'm 19 years old. Glenn, I totally agree with you. That probably is the only way. But he's not gonna say to the manager that he doesn't want to play. Of course, he wants to play. He's 19. Arteta's got to show a bit of management today. He's definitely got the players on the bench to give him a rest. It's not. I don't want to sound defeatist. It's not really. This game has turned not into an important game for me. Like I said, I want to finish as high as up in the league, and of course I want to win the game. But am I sitting here thinking we must win this game? We must win this game. No, I'm not. So today for me, he's got to have a rest, and Arteta's got to show a bit of man management, which I think he will. I don't think he'll play today. He'll be if he's on the. He may well be on the bench, but I'd be very surprised to see him start today.
Okay, fair enough, Craig. You know what it is? It's that we look at it differently. For me, it's this game right in front of us is what matters right now. I don't care about anything else. I don't know with the results from yesterday, but we're in 11th place, and every game's a battle, and we got to move up that table. I need 60 minutes from you, kid. Hey, do we all remember when we were 19? We were indestructible. I think get him in there.
That's kind of what my thought process was with this. I'm indestructible. I can go on 2 hours of sleep. Sure. Why not? 42. No, not
5 hours. 5 hours ago, as I was at a White Castle drive-through. I only had 2 hours sleep. Also, I'm sorry.
Nice.
Go on.
No.
I've had 8.
and coffee.
Cheeky bastard.
So.
But I'll tell you something though. I certainly wouldn't trust our medical team. There's no way I'm trusting our medical.
Yeah. So Martinelli and Pepe. Now here's a conundrum. Pepe has been in form on the left, but Martinelli, I don't recall ever seeing Martinelli on the right.
No.
So the last time Pepe played on the right, he didn't play because he was just invisible, was he not? Sam, I'll come back to you to start. So is it Pepe on the right and Martinelli on the left then for you?
I tell you what, that is a very good question. If those two are going to be starting, and yes, you primarily do want them on each wing, or each, however you want to say, inside, forward, I don't know, whatever technicality you want to use. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, Pepe on the right is just not very good, is he? He's much better on the left.
Well, he doesn't link up well with Bellerin, and Bellerin, you have to figure, is going to get the start.
Bellerin just doesn't work at all. There's just no cohesion there whatsoever. They don't go well together. No, I mean, I'll tell you what. If see, this is the thing tactically. You've got to look tactically at this as well. Not just a matter of who goes where or what. I mean, in terms of who gets to play because of who's tired or not. You've got to think of the tactics as well. So, you know, if you're going to play Martinelli, you're going to say, okay, we're going to give him a chance today. Yes, you put him out left. You don't put him out right. And then you have to put someone out right who works out right, who can actually do the job. Maybe a Reece Nelson. I know this guy hasn't really been much in Arteta's plans lately, but he can play out right. You also got a Erdegaard who can play out right as well. He must still be fresh enough to play. You can play him on a right inside role, come in from the right maybe. I just don't see him playing Pepe outright because he just doesn't work out there. And if he does play him outright, then that's going to be another, for me, that's going to be another, issue I'm going to put him up on Arteta. Why are you playing Pepe outright? It doesn't work.
Yeah, Matt, what do you think? Who are you? Who's your? You know what? I'll tell you what. Just give me your front four in attack.
I think, given I think a lot of these guys played 4 games in 12 days or something like that. So my personal opinion before this match was that we were going to see a number of changes. But with Arteta, I don't know about you guys, but I find it really hard to predict what's going on in his head and what he's going to do for any given game. I find it really difficult to judge. I personally probably would have had Martinelli on the left, Pepe on the right, possibly Odegaard down the middle, and then Lacazette up top. That probably would have been my choice of today, given the amount of games we've played and rotation.
Yeah. Glenn, give me your front.
Okay,
give me your.
For me, you're getting back to Pepe. I don't care if he plays today. I actually would like to see him play today. But guys, if you rewind this just back a little bit, Pepe played 2 really good games in a row, and then Arteta sat him for 2 games. Then he came back and gave us that stinker last time he played. Right? So to me, it's like, yeah, put Pepe in there. I don't like Arteta's man management. Who do I want up front? I want Laka, Saka, and Pepe. And I want Odegaard in there too.
Fair, Craig.
Well, I'll stick with what I think. Whether I don't know what wings they'll go on, but I would say Lacazette, Martinelli, one of Pepe and Willian, I suppose, because Willian can play out on the right. Could Lacazette do something for us out on the right? There's lots of options there. I mean, he could do something for us out on the right. Odegaard can go out on the right, but I think he'll go with. I personally think he's going to go Martinelli, Lacazette, Pepe.
I'm sorry, just real quick. What would you do, Craig?
What would I do?
Yes.
Well, I certainly rest Saka anyway. And if I was manager today, I would looking at what I've got. I would probably Martinelli on the left, Lacazette in the middle. I'll probably try Odegaard out on the right.
Okay, cool.
Sam, I didn't give you a chance to give your 4, so I'll give you that chance.
So if I'm manager today, I would be looking at playing. I'll be looking at playing Martinelli down the middle. I think he has a lot to offer in the middle. I would play if I'm have to drop. I want to drop Saka. I want to give him a rest. So outright, I'll probably go for Erdegaard, and on the left, I'd go for Pepe. Give him a chance out left today.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're missing a big trick here. I mean, there's a massive chance that he could play Aubameyang on the left, Lacazette in the middle. Do you know? There's so many combinations. Yeah. I mean, does Aubameyang look like he needs the rest? Not for me. Do you drop a player who just scored 2 goals midweek? Not for me. So
it's a really good point. That
could Aubameyang play on the left?
Well, I want to shout out my as I call him, my co-defendant Ryan from the Ars Pros. Everybody knows who Ryan is if you watch this channel. He calls it his pinwheel of death. I prefer to call them agents of chaos. But when you think about it, these guys can really just rotate and interchange one in for the other. I mean, you throw Lacazette into there too because he could theoretically play out on the right, like Craig you had just said. So it just pick 4 and throw them out there and just say, you know what, boys, go do it. Go bang in 4 goals today.
If you're going Aubameyang out left, then who's in the middle? You're going Lacazette then.
Gotta be Lacazette.
But they don't really play well together, do they? They don't.
It's just options. I'm just looking at what he can do, the rotation, the positions, the players that he's got. I wouldn't be surprised to see it. I wouldn't be surprised to see Laka on the left, Martinelli on the right. Lacazette through the middle. But again, we just don't know with this manager, do we? We don't know what's going to happen.
No.
Yes, we agree there, Craig. And I also, you turned me around. I had Laka starting, but you said you don't bench somebody that scored 2 goals midweek. So I changed that to Aubameyang. But I really need to ask a question, BG, because it's making me a little bit crazy. And maybe it's because I'm just maybe it's just because I'm a little bit tired. But why is everybody talking like this is some kind of practice game, before the regular season starts? Why aren't we talking about just explain that to me. Are you saving it for this Europa League stuff? Okay, fine, but please explain to me why I want to experiment and put this guy over here and that guy over there, and I'd like the kid to play over here. Please explain it to me why we're not going all out in this panel to win this game.
I think we have to go all out to win this game, to be honest with you.
Of course we are.
But I think the problem that we have is injuries, it's rotation, it's rest, because you got the likes of Emil Smith-Rowe, Saka, they played a lot of minutes. Emil Smith-Rowe, before this season, really hasn't played a lot of first-team football at this level. So I think, we're struggling to juggle a lot of balls. So I think Arteta's got a job on his hands to try and keep players fresh for both competitions. So he's got no choice but to kind of make some difficult decisions and rest players for games like this in some ways.
Okay, fair enough. You know what's got me riled up? Did you guys see a Premier League preview 2 days ago where they had that Leicester City podcaster on just completely destroying Arsenal? We're not worried about them. No matter what they do, we should beat them. I wanted to jump through my TV and smack this guy.
Yeah.
So I've been in a bad mood. I've been in a bad mood for 2 days. That's why I jumped down your throats. Plus, I'm tired, and the White Castle's kicking in.
The White Castle's kicking in.
But you know what? That's the really sad thing, is that clubs are looking at us at the moment and seeing that we're not that team that people fear anymore, and that's hopefully what's going to change. Kind of hopefully next season.
Do you know what I say to that? Let them do it.
Yeah,
let them do it.
Us.
Let them do it. Let them underestimate us. Let I think it was probably Lee, was it? The Leicester City, the Leicester City podcaster. Let them underestimate Arsenal. I love it. I love it when people underestimate us and we go and win, because we're in a. I just keep trying to explain myself this all the time, but look, we're in a massive transitional period at the moment. Arteta has come in. He's got half an Emery team. He's got half a Wenger team, right? He's brought in his own. He's brought in his own. He's starting to bring in his own players. And if anyone on this panel can't tell me that they can't see a difference, then I'd have to ask. I'd have to ask you what you're watching.
Yeah,
because there is a massive difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we're defending better. We're not conceding enough goals. We have the third best defence in the. Just imagine where we'd be if we could actually score a goal. Just imagine where we could be if we could actually score a few goals. Imagine where we could be if these stupid individual areas didn't happen. These refereeing mistakes going against us. Now people can say, "Oh, Craig, you're full of excuses." These are not excuses. These are facts.
Yeah.
I sit here now as an Arsenal fan, and you as an Arsenal fan telling me I'm using excuses. You saw the same games as me, right? So next year, everyone knows that on the Same Old Arsenal podcast, I'm a backer of Mikel Arteta. I am a backer of Mikel Arteta. I think he should use the rest of this season to try and get the players that he's got there under his massive philosophy. Get it instilled in them. Then in the summer, bring in the players that he wants, and we go again. But there's one difference. The first game of the season, he is under pressure from me. First game, straight out. If he gets backed, he's under pressure. If we find ourselves in languishing 7th, 8th, 9th, October, November next year, then he'll have to go.
Okay. Can I real quick? Does that include if we don't make if we don't win the Europa League and we finish, say, 9th or 8th?
It includes that, yeah. I mean, we're not going to win the Europa League, Glenn. Let's get that. Okay. Let's get that straight.
Okay.
All right. People can call me deluded for backing Arteta. I would say anyone who thinks we're winning the Europa League. Don't get me wrong. I hope we do.
Yeah.
Somehow,
I was trying
to have to sit here and be realistic and look at the teams that are still in it, and look how we've struggled over 2 legs to beat Benfica. Yeah. Come on now.
There's a lot of good teams left in that competition, and like you say, we haven't exactly given the performances to say we're going to go and beat those kinds of teams yet. So, like you say, hopefully
if we beat Olympiacos, I mean, like there's an argument to say we'll struggle against Olympiacos. if we beat Olympiacos, which I think we should, then if we draw Man United, Spurs, or any of them, forget it.
Okay, real quick, because I'm not going to argue with you, Craig, when I 90% agree with you. I just think you're a little loose on his man management with the team, with the red cards and who he starts. But I'm not going to argue that with you because I agree 90% of what you said. We're not Chelsea. We're not going to dump somebody in the middle of a season, So yes.
Well, and what do you get if you do that? Here's the point to it. What do you get if you do that? Because now you get another manager that you say, okay, well, he's got to be backed in the summer. He's got to be backed in the transfer window, and he's got to get in. He's got to get out all of Emery's players, all of Arteta's players, whatever's left over from the Wenger era, and he's got to bring in his own players. And it's the vicious circle, and it just keeps repeating itself and repeating itself and repeating itself.
It's a big gamble. It's a really big gamble with Arteta.
Yeah. And Sam, I know you're not necessarily.
No, I mean, I just want to say to Craig, listen, I watch your podcast all the time. I really respect your viewpoints. I think you got a great podcast back up, Glenn. It's one of the best out there. And but just for me, from my perspective as a fan, I just disagree. I just
fine, mate. No problem with that.
We just have to disagree on Arteta. I just don't think he's good enough. I just don't think he's taking the club to the next level where I want to see it. I know it's a difficult task. I mean, it really is. It's a really difficult task. I mean, like everyone's saying, and rightfully so, it's not easy to take over that squad of players. We've got a difficult mixture of players there. Just for me, I just don't see enough from Arteta to say we're going in the right direction. Yes, I agree. We've improved a lot defensively from where we took over from where he took over from Emery, where we were basically just one big gaping hole. 30 shots against us a game, no direction, no style, no nothing. We have had progress from there. I agree. Defensively, yes, we do look a lot better, but unfortunately for me, we just haven't pushed on from that. We haven't been able to do anything attacking wise. We don't look like we could dominate a game. We don't look like we're talking about. We have been talking about as fans, we're worried about playing Southampton. We're worried about playing Burnley. We're worried about playing these teams. We should be just dominating. That's what we should be doing. And on paper, yes, we do have some weaknesses, but on paper we have a squad, for me, that's good enough to challenge for the Europa League all day long.
Sam, I totally agree with you, mate. And I'll talk to someone like you all day long because it's respectful opinions. You know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about people who fly off the handle, right?
Yeah.
But I will counteract that and say, we have got no God-given right to be beating teams like Southampton. We've got no God-given right to be beating teams like Burnley. Like everyone knows when the Arsenal come to town, everyone ups their game by 110%. Doesn't matter who you are, Man United, Liverpool, you can be Fulham, you can be Leeds. Everyone ups the game for the Arsenal.
Yeah,
it's a tough job. And going on the Arteta thing, who comes in? I'm all for it, right? If someone said, if I had a crystal ball and the crystal ball said to me, Craig, by getting rid of Mikel Arteta, it's going to be a good thing for Arsenal, right? I'd say, right, I want what's good. I want what's good for my club, right? If that's the case, if Mikel Arteta has to go, then he has to go. That's fine. No, I've got no problem with that because I support Arsenal. I don't support Mikel Arteta FC. Do you know what I mean? If that makes sense, right? I support Arsenal FC. So if I had a crystal ball and the crystal ball's telling me, look, Craig, you got to let go. Arteta's got to go for the good of the club. I'm happy to let him go, no problem. But my problem is who comes in.
Yeah,
people are telling me that. Look, I was underwhelmed with the Mikel Arteta appointment when it happened. I put a tweet out going, "Oh God, I'm not too sure about this." Do you know? Because I wanted a top manager to come in. But my worry with Arsenal is that all these other managers seem to be going other places where they can get a few quid. Ancelotti's gone to Everton because he can get a few quid. Do you know? Klopp went to Liverpool because he could get a few quid. I'm not too sure who comes in as manager who's not going to want money to come here. Because we're a massive club. We're a massive club. We shouldn't be where we are. We all know. We can all agree there. We can all agree we shouldn't be 11th.
No,
we should be up there. Who comes in and changes it? I just don't. I'm not too sure what happens.
I can answer that question if you want me to.
Don't say Allegri, because his football is shocking.
No, it's not Allegri. No, I mean that argument that we don't know who can come in. For me, that's a bit of it's a bit of a fallacy, that one, because there are managers out there who can come in and do a good job. And the money argument, I don't really believe either, because we paid Arsene Wenger £12 million a year. So back then he was the most, arguably the highest paid manager in the world. So we can pay managers money if we want. It's about what they want to do, and we know that's another issue with the ownership, which is a whole different debate. Of course, there's a lot there that they need to take on board as well, the blame as well, of course. But in terms of a manager, there's 3 managers who can come in and do a better job than Arteta. Because it's about experience, and it's about being able to look at players and tell them, listen, sorry, you can't play. Xhaka, sorry, you can't play. Bellerin, sorry, you can't play. It's making those decisions, and the man management as well, with the late substitutions, bringing on Willian instead of other players. Maybe that's a contractual thing. We don't know. That's what everyone's wondering about, because it's got to a point where, if it's not a contractual thing, you have to look at where the hell, what is the guy thinking, with Willian, if it's not a contractual thing. And if it is a contractual issue, even that's shocking as well. How can you give someone
massively?
How can you give someone a contract where they're, bound to play football? It's a mess either way you look at it. And for me, there's 3 managers, and yes, of course, listen, a good manager is not just someone who's just going to come and knock on the door and say, hello, I can come and manage you now. You have to go out and get them. You have to go out and, go for them and give, offer them money and offer them a project. And for me, I think Nagelsmann is a very good manager. I mean, if that lot down the road are looking at bringing him in to instead of Jose, why can't we? Nagelsmann is a very accomplished manager. I think Ten Hag at Ajax is a great manager who could come in and work with young players as well. He's worked with young players for many years. He's done a great job. I think he could do a good job. And for me, I also like, if you're thinking of bringing in someone more, come in who can really change things around. I even think someone like a Brendan Rodgers could do a great job. I know he's probably not going to want to leave Leicester now because they're doing so well, but he's not great. But for me, a Ten Hag or a Nagelsmann, someone like that can come in and do a better job than Arteta all day long, because they can get more. They can get more out of the play. They can get more out of the players. It's about getting more out of the players, because we see that with West Ham. We see that with Aston Villa. They're most of the same players. They're completely changed around now.
Would you agree with me that 3 managers can't get this team playing? We've had 3 managers now that can't get this team playing.
But could they be the wrong managers?
I just think out of all of this, I think we just need to have a bit of perspective, because these changes don't happen overnight. He's not just trying to manage a team. He's only been for actual class as manager for this season, hasn't he? He's trying to change a whole ethos and turn around a club that has been, as we all probably appreciate, on a downward spiral for a long, long time. That doesn't happen overnight, and it's not just Arteta's. In terms of man management, players, it's the whole direction of the club and what's going on internally as well. There's whole other factors above Arteta that we have to deal with.
Yes, I agree.
I just don't think at this point changing Arteta is going to do anything other than just create more instability.
Not right now.
More chaos.
Not right now. I'll give him till the end of the season. I'll say, sorry, Miguel, we're not going to move on with you. I'd bring in a Nagelsmann or a Ten Hag and say, listen, here you go. Here's the transfer window. Bring in the players you think, because these managers aren't stupid. I mean, whoever's going to come in at that stage, if that happens, a Nagelsmann or a Ten Hag. Sorry, Glenn, I see you want to come in there. Sorry,
that's okay.
Just want to finish my point. They're not going to be stupid. They know about Arsenal and our players, our squad. Mm-hmm. They would have an idea of how to come in and do things. They wouldn't come in completely blindfolded, having no idea who our players are, what our club is about, or anything like that. They could come in. And in my opinion, and this is where me and Craig disagree, that's fine. Yeah. In my opinion, a Nagelsmann or a Ten Hag can come in June, get the transfer window, bring in some real players that they think is going to do a good job. And that mixture of those players together with getting more out of our players we have now, I can guarantee you Nagelsmann's not going to play Xhaka.
Oh, God. I've just seen the team. Sorry.
All right.
Glenn, go ahead real quick.
Sorry, I've got the sorry.
I'm sorry. Is it real quick? I'm not worried about getting a world-class manager. We're the 4th biggest club in the world. You'd have to be an idiot to not want to manage this club. Second thing is, if I am a world-class manager and they dump Arteta now, you know what the first thing I say is, if we're talking about contract, I want a shit ton of money if you fire me before this contract is over. Maybe Arteta was smart enough to say that in his contract, and that's why these, they're backing him so much, but whatever. I'm not Arteta out. I'm with Craig and Sam on this. Let's go to the end of the season. Let's see how everything shaped out.
Yeah.
All right, fellas, give me a sec here.
Got the team have.
Lineups are in.
Craig looks happy.
To be fair, having looked at that, I don't blame him either because I've just seen that as well.
If I see Xhaka and El Nini in the middle, I'm leaving.
Bye.
You got it. You got it.
We'll see you later then.
And William, the trifecta of death.
I got the front. I got the front three right, I think, didn't I? When I said that he'd probably pay Pepe or William.
Yeah. Yep.
Lacazette up front.
No link-up play today.
Two defensive midfielders. Rubbish. It's going to be a long 90 minutes.
Yes, it is. Yes,
it
is.
We'll be lucky if we score twice, and hopefully Vardy.
There's no outlet there at all. No. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. The only outlet you've got there going forward is Kieran Tierney. That is it.
Yeah.
Going down the left.
So everything comes down the left.
No,
it's awful.
Why does Arteta do this? Why does he do this? I try to defend him, and he does that.
Yeah,
to be fair, if you think you wanted to do that and your outlet is Kieran Tierney, why wouldn't you stick Pepe on the left?
Yeah. I mean, there's substitutes. Partey, Ceballos, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, Aubameyang. Goodness me.
My stomach hurts, and I don't think it's the right Castle. I don't think it's the right Castle.
I can sit here and talk Mikel Arteta up all day long, but that is, I'm sorry, that's shocking. That is shocking.
I mean, you talk about him being unpredictable with lineups and not being able to choose what he's going to do, but that's not what I expected.
No, absolutely not. I expected Partey in there. Partey in there with Xhaka. I expected Aubameyang to feature somewhere. How you leave a man out who's scored 2 goals in midweek, and his confidence is going to be sky high.
At this point, are we not now seeing where Arteta's priority lies? Is he now doing what Unai Emery did at the end of the
good point? It's a good point.
2018-2019 season, where he just said the league is, the focus is Europa League now, and I'm going to make sure the guys are ready to go for that.
Do you know what, mate? I'm fine with that. If that's what he wants to do, if that's his main focus, I'm fine with it.
So let me ask you this then. Because
the only thing that does worry me, Tanner, is why he keeps leaving out Martinelli. That's the only thing that's worrying me.
I read something. Sorry to come in there. I read something about that a little while ago. That there was some. I can't remember now. There's someone I follow on Twitter. They do a lot of football analysis, and apparently they picked up somewhere that I think Arteta worries about Martinelli tactically, because apparently when the last game he played, he was really pissed off with Martinelli tactically. He wasn't doing the things tactically after
Manchester United at home.
Yeah.
He was awful.
Yep.
And so he was really worried about Martinelli tactically not doing what he wants him to do, tactically, because that's what Arteta wants. He wants you to come on and you got a structure with what you have to do. And apparently Martinelli's not really, doing well with that. And I think that might be an issue there.
This is disgusting. This is absolutely disgusting. This is what turned me against Mr. Good Evening. He's playing not to lose. He's playing defensive. My stomach hurts. I'm sick to death of this type of attitude going into games. I already know before the ball's even kicked, there's not going to be any link-up play today.
Do you know what though? Just to kind of think of this, I think Matthew D'Souza in the comments makes a good point. You know, looking at resting players, Partey. You know, obviously we all expected, I think, to see Partey back, but maybe there's been a decision there that, you know, he's not quite ready to start the game today. You're not necessarily going to start Ceballos after his mare. You know, you're probably not going to stick him back in the side. So, you know, there probably is some reason for El Neni being in there. It must just be a fitness issue, surely. You wouldn't pick El Neni for this game otherwise, would you?
You know, you're probably right. Right now, I have tunnel vision because I just can't see past this freaking lineup. And no matter how eloquent you guys are, I don't think I'm going to hear it in my head.
I don't think anybody is happy with this lineup. But I'm going to go. Let me go back to Arteta real quick and make a point here. And this is kind of how I felt. I on Thursday after Benfica, I think I came to a realization about Mikel Arteta. I like everything that he's done at the club in terms of the attitude change, in terms of the structure that he's brought, getting out the quote unquote dead wood that we've had here. But what I don't like are his tactics. What he does, the way he wants to play, to me, is boring.
Yes.
But it is also intelligent. And we're not Manchester City, and we are not going to draw those types of players to this club because we can't afford them. And so if there's one thing about Mikel Arteta that worries me in the long run, it's that. It's that his tactics and this football club and their, to this point, unwillingness to go and spend that kind of money. Not that they don't spend money. I'm not saying that. I'm saying spend the type of money that Manchester City have spent to go and get those world-class players in. That's his system. His system is an intelligence-based system.
Okay, real quick. That was great, except the Manchester City part. They're owned by an oil country. Get a different example. They can get what they want. I heard they were looking for scoring. So who's it going to be? Messi or Ronaldo? Who are they going to get? I can't stand that team.
But here's what they are.
They're mercenaries. They're mercenaries, aren't they? They're mercenaries.
Well, they are. But here's what Pep demands of them. You have to be smart to play that style.
Oh yeah.
You have to be smart.
Pep deserves credit for the way he's turned Man City around this season and created basically another tactic for them to play well with. You got to give Pep the credit where he's due. Everyone says, "Oh, he's."
All right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Just one quick thing, and then I'll shut up. Pep is one of the best managers in the world, no doubt. But please, I forgot my point. I'm so angry. Go on.
I'll use a different team, Glenn, to make that comparison with, and that's West Ham.
Yeah. Okay.
West Ham are fourth in the division.
Yeah.
There you go.
Do you know? David Moyes has gone in there and completely instilled a new breed of confidence in all those players. But the difference between our players and the West Ham players is that they're a team.
Okay, I remember.
Every time I watch West Ham, they're a team. They push and they pull and they fight. And when was the last time you saw an Arsenal team push, pull, and fight for each other that you were sitting there going, "Come on, boy," shouting at the telly? Because I can't remember the last time. I mean, I'm not lucky enough to go to games. Unfortunately, like most people, or like people here, I have to watch it on telly. But that doesn't mean I'm not sitting in my chair shouting at the telly, because I am. I haven't sat and shouted at my telly for ages.
You're right,
West Ham. You know, West Ham.
I remembered my point, and then I'll shut up. I promise. Everybody talks about who the MVP for Manchester City should be this year. It should be those lawyers that got them off for illegally putting a team together. That's Manchester City's MVP. Yeah. They're lawyers. Okay, I'm done. Now you guys can go on.
No, you make a good point, Glenn. They skipped on that. They skipped on financial fair play, and it's not right. Yeah. It's not right.
I not for nothing. I put out a tweet yesterday, real quick, that said after the Lee Mason debacle, West Brom and Brighton, that how sad is it that one of the most corrupt organizations in the world will not bring English referees into the international game, because that's how bad they are. So I needed to mention that.
English referees want to be the celebrity. English referees want to be the talking point. I don't think there's one English referee that I can actually sit back and say, no, he's a good referee. He'll just come in, referee the game, and go home again. Yeah, there's got to be some kind of moment in a game where the referee is this vocal point. It's pathetic. I just want the FA at the end of the season to go away. Well, it's Mike Riley's job, isn't it? I mean, Mike Riley's in charge of the PGM, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever it is.
PG Mall.
He's in charge. He needs to change it, but of course he's not going to change it because of the brown envelopes in his jacket. So
yep.
It's such a corrupt organisation. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Why aren't they coming out at the end of the game? And I totally agree with this. I think was it Lewis Dunk that came out after his interview? Not very happy. Yeah. I totally agree with him. If these guys, I mean, you should, first of all, you shouldn't be hearing about the ref after the game. They should go unnoticed and it should be a quiet, efficient job done. You should be hearing about the referee, and we're hearing about them far too much at the moment. And, if they want that limelight, they should be coming out at the end of the game, and I totally agree with him, justifying decisions, explaining why they've made the decision they did, have some accountability, because players, managers, everybody else has to come out and stand up in front of everybody and say and justify their performances and what they've done wrong and whatever else. Why are referees allowed to hide and not being pushed to the forefront, especially at the moment when their decisions are such a big thing in the game?
Yeah, absolutely. It's so frustrating that the Premier League is the most popular sports league in the world, and it arguably is the best league in the world, and we can't get the best officials. It's maddening.
Well, and I'll answer the question. So, I've been to games with VAR, and they will not show replays on the screens in stadiums, and there's a reason for that. And the reason is the same, and because I'm American, and Glenn, you're a baseball guy, and you can back me up on this, but in Major League Baseball stadiums, they will not show close plays on the screen in the stadium, and the reason is, and Major League Baseball has flat out stated this, it is to protect the integrity of the umpires. That is the reasoning, that they will not allow replays like that are close calls to be broadcast in the stadiums. So
it's ridiculous, because you can see everyone at home with millions of people around the world on their screens.
If you're at home, you get the
You can rewind it, play it 15,000 times if you wanted to. Everyone else can see it. Why would you not allow people in the stadium to see exactly the same thing that they're going to see later when they're back at home?
To protect the integrity of the officials.
It's not protecting their integrity. It's allowing them to hide. It just really
annoys me. To us, that's what it is. To them, now, all right. So since we're on the referee topic, and we got about 15 minutes here, guys, are they serious?
45 minutes to go till kickoff.
Are they serious with this clapping the officials on?
Onto
the? Are they? They're not serious about that.
No.
I mean,
how can you be Lewis Dunk or any professional footballer in the Premier League yesterday, and your manager says, "Oh, by the way, lads, we've got to clap out the referees." I'll be like, "Nah, not me, boss." No.
If I'm the manager, I go like this.
Yeah,
stick my hands in my pockets. That's how I handle that.
Isn't there talk of them striking or something like that? The referees.
Good.
Let them go on strike.
Please strike.
Bring in some grassroots guys. They'll do a better job of it.
I guarantee you, some lower league referees or whatever are going to come in and do a better job.
Yeah, absolutely. Bring them up from League One and League Two. Give them their opportunity. There you go, son. Mm-hmm. Go and referee some. Go and referee the game. I don't want to hear your name in the papers. I don't want to hear your name in the match reports. Go and referee the game for me. There's your money.
Absolutely.
Do you know?
Yep, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. They call it integrity. I call it cowardice.
Yes.
They don't want the officials to be berated at stadiums for awful calls. And the bottom line is whatever this organization is, the PM, like Craig said, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It's just there has to be at some point the managers of these clubs need to band together and step up to the plate and say, okay, you know what? We're gonna throw money into the pot, and we're gonna hire a firm to come in and do a complete external investigation, independent, and we're going to get to the bottom of this, because at this point now, I'm all I think of when I see this is the fix is in. Who is profiting from this?
Why is it that VAR works everywhere else except in the Premier League?
Because and this is
it's not the system; it's who's managing that system.
Exactly,
That's the thing. You see it everywhere else. Rugby works
everywhere else.
Other sports,
Look, let's go back.
fine.
When they first brought it into the World Cup, how good was it?
Yeah. But the thing is, VAR, and this is the thing, with the FA in England, VAR is used not to correct decisions, but to cover up decisions. That's what it's used.
Yes,
absolutely, spot on.
It's used to back up the referee, who's their colleague, who's probably refereed the same team the previous week or whatever. They're all colleagues. They back each other up. That's what it is. It's a cover up instead of correcting. It's supposed to be used to correct things, but it doesn't.
I would be happy if they would just start out with one step, which is if there's a VAR play, get that referee to get his shit ass over to the monitor and look at the play. They should do that every time there's a VAR call.
The problem is, Glenn, we've seen so many times where a referee has gone to the monitor and still got it wrong.
Yes.
They still listen to VAR. They're supposed to make their own decision. They still listen to VAR.
That penalty given against Everton given against Liverpool last week, I'm still not too sure. Was it a penalty?
Yeah.
What do you go? I don't think it was. And he's gone over to and he took about 3 seconds to look at it.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, he got it wrong twice.
Here's a question though: Would you go back and just scrap VAR completely?
No.
Would you prefer that, or would you prefer to keep it?
No, because like Craig said, it works in other leagues. Yeah. It's not working in the Premier League.
Yeah, it's the way it's implemented. It's the way it's being used. We need an independent. That VAR, whoever's operating VAR, they need to be an independent group. They can't be referees that are part of the refereeing system.
And they're in line because it's a conflict of interest when you think about it, because they're each other's colleagues. So referee A on the pitch is dealing with VAR official B, but by the way, next week they might be, or in a month's time they might be flip-flopped. So the guy in the truck is. I've said this before, and apologies for the extreme Americanism here, but in ice hockey. Over here in America, in the National Hockey League, they have what's called the War Room in Toronto, Canada, where every game is being watched by 3 sets of eyes, 3 different sets of eyes on one game. And if there's a call if there's an offside call, if there's a questionable goal scored, they go directly to the War Room. The officials on the ice skate over. They have monitors that they're looking at, and they are in immediate communication with the War Room. And the guys in the War Room, they're not on the ice ever. These are like government. It's like a government spy agency up there. They're in some bunker underground at Niagara Falls or something like that. Who knows? But
it works. It works.
But by and large, it works. But I'm going to tell you this: the other thing that they do, and this is key in my opinion, is that if it is not clear and indisputable evidence that the call on the ice was wrong, they uphold the call on the ice. They stick with the original call. If there's not enough evidence to look at it and say, nope, there it is. There it is. We got it right here. Circle it. Big exclamation points above it. There it is.
That's what it's supposed to be. That's what it's supposed to be.
And the referee will then skate to center ice, and he will explain very coherently what the call is. After further review, there was no indisputable evidence to overturn the play. The ruling on the ice stands. Or after review, here's what we saw. This is why we're changing the call, and now the call is this. So
exactly. And VAR was supposed to be brought in for the same reason, for clear and obvious errors or clear and obvious things you want to look at. Now it's used for everything. It's just a blanket. They use VAR for everything. Every time.
You're dead right. You're dead right. What you say though, Sam. It's not. It's being used to cover up.
Yeah.
It really is being used to cover up mistakes instead of correcting mistakes.
Yeah,
well, Mike said that on BT Sport, didn't he? He was the chap on BT Sport that said it's not there to make the right decisions. I can't remember his name.
Walton.
Peter Walton. That summarised that up perfectly, didn't it?
Yeah.
That just said it all in one go. Yeah.
If there's anything that rivals the passion of football fans, it's hockey and Canadians, and they want to make sure and they want to make sure they get that stuff right, eh? And
You're so right. No, there's just one last thing on VAR. I was just going to say, for me, the reason, I think VAR is when it's implemented correctly one day, hopefully with the FA, hopefully it gets implemented correctly and it will actually start doing what it's supposed to do. And I think we'll start getting used to it, and we will probably appreciate it a lot more. But the thing for me is why we can't go back is because just imagine a scenario, right, like we had before VAR, where you're at your last game of the season. You basically got the two teams who decide who's going to win the league, and basically you've got a goal that wins Team A the league over Team B, and it's really offside. Yeah. But you don't have VAR there to check it. I think everybody then would be screaming, "Why don't we have VAR?" I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. I personally agree with you. Yeah, I think sorry, Tal, I was just going to say I agree. The question was put out there. It was just my personal opinion is that VAR is a useful tool and it should be there. It was just an interesting question to ask.
VAR is not the problem. The problem is the people running it. That's the problem. That is the problem with VAR. Gents, I feel like we could do an hour on this.
Should we preview the Leicester game?
Yeah, I was just that. Yep, let's go.
Craig hosting coming in there.
Yeah. No guarding my show. That's all right. I'm all right with. He's been doing this a lot longer than I have been. So.
That was awesome, Craig.
Craig, go ahead. It's a great idea. So go ahead, kick us off.
I'm only joking, mate. It's your show. I'm the silent one today.
I feel like this is good therapy for you because
I don't get to see. I love coming on these because I get a chance to say what I've got to say. Because being on the same old Arsenal, I'm sure if you watch it, you see that it's quite hard to get a word in. When you've got people like Dan and Lee and Harry and they're all having an argument and I'm just sitting there going,
playing a game on your phone and all of a sudden
that's it. That's it. Yeah, Craig, what do you do? What? Oh, sorry. Yeah. We can win. When I sat down, I thought we could win this game today. Yeah. I have no confidence now whatsoever. He's gone there to get a draw. It's going to be I can't believe he's going to play defensively against a team that can be in your box from their box in 4 passes. With the pace that they've got. Yep. I know Maddison's out, but Jamie Vardy's still playing. They've still got players in there that can cause problems. Harvey Barnes is a fantastic player. Jamie Vardy. I'm so despondent now. And I can actually see this is the first realisation, I think. I can see why people are wanting a new manager, to be honest, because I can't. Even though we sit here and we call for change and we call for rotation, that's just massively over the top for me. That team. If Partey can come on and play half an hour against Benfica, surely he can start today. Take him off. Start him and take him off.
Let me ask one question. Is this, let's weather the storm for the first half. Let's weather the storm for the first half.
Could be.
For the first 60 minutes. And I get 3 substitutes and I pretty much have a loaded gun on the bench.
I'm with Glenn. I'm with Glenn. Go there. Put your best team out on the.
I agree.
We know that Saka needs a rest, right? Let's just leave Saka out of it for a minute, right? He does need a rest, all right? Kid's knackered. He's on his knees.
Yeah.
Look at that bench. Aubameyang, Odegaard. Who was it? Aubameyang, Odegaard, Martinelli. I mean, if he's going for the Europa League, fair enough. But we've got a week's rest after this game. Yeah. Go for it. I'm with Glenn. Why is he gone so negative? What is going there and getting a draw going to do?
It's making me bananas. we're as Arsenal fans right now with the state of the team, we're all at different stages of the 5 stages of grief. BG, I think you're in denial making excuses for that lineup.
Hey, man, I got to present all the angles.
Arteta. To me, Arteta's like, oh, Vardy, he scored 11 goals in the last 12 games against us. Oh, we need our best defensive team out there. We're gonna be lucky if we score 2 goals today.
We're gonna be lucky if we get 2 shots on goal.
Do you know what? Yesterday, I was feeling really, really negative about this game, and I thought we weren't really in with a shout. I think I predicted yesterday a 2-1 loss. And I woke up this morning and I was buzzing this morning. I thought, do you know what? I felt a bit more positive. I thought, do you know what? Actually, no, we can go and get something from this game. And it kind of turned me around. And then I've seen that, and it's flipped me back again. And I'm so... I won't swear, but I'm hacked off. Because, like you say, you've got, our problem this season is we have switched off in the first few minutes. We started really lethargically. I want to see a team, like Craig says, go out, attack, take the game to them, play exciting football, go for it. I want us to address that and play good football right from the off. I don't want to sit back in the first half and soak it up. I want to see us go out and take the game to somebody. We don't do that enough. We've seen it very little this season. And to see that, like you said, if Partey's had enough to play, 20, 30 minutes in the last game, surely he's got enough in the tank to at least have a first half, get us going, get us a goal. It feels very negative to me, and I don't like that.
Yeah, I was a total bobblehead during that whole speech there, Matt. I was like, yes.
The thing is, just one last thing on the this Arteta thing. I'm just saying this for me again is showing what I keep saying. On my side of the argument, I'm saying, the people who still want Arteta in the job. I'm saying how many excuses. The thing is, it's there's so many. For me, so many of the talking points in support of Arteta, it's like you're trying to find something. I've got to find some kind of excuse. It's that stat or it's that stat. It's what you're looking at on the pitch is just nothing's there. There's nothing there.
It's always a but. I mean, we can sit here now and we can complain that team. We can sit here now and we can complain that team is poor, but then we'd be very hypocritical to say then that we want him to rotate for the Europa League. Yeah. Okay, but my argument to that would be we haven't got a Europa League game for when's the next Europa League game?
It's the 11th of March.
It's 11th of March.
So I mean and with a week's rest after this one
for Burnley.
It's kind of hard to defend, And like I've always said, I'll back him, but he's making it very bloody hard.
Yeah, exactly. And just real quick, because there is a certain section of Arsenal supporters that just want to stay positive and are probably yelling at all of us right now. We all want to be wrong. We just
absolutely. I want to be wrong.
Oh, yeah. God, yeah.
Like my prediction. I think if we're lucky, 1-1. I hope I'm wrong, but that's my prediction. 1-1.
I had a train of thought here and I completely lost it. I guess we'll dive into if you guys want to give predictions, go ahead, Matt.
That's what we were doing. I'm sorry, BG.
No, you're good because I was going to do it. I was going to do it anyway. So, yeah, Matt, go ahead. If you've got a prediction, go ahead.
One thing I will say just before I give my prediction is, do you know what? And I don't mean to hate on Bellerin, or kind of maybe I do, but at least Cedric's in there today. So that for me is a beacon of hope and light for me in this game today. But yeah, I tend to agree with Glenn there. I think it's a fairly negative looking side. I don't think we're going to have a huge outlet. I don't think Pepe really should be swapped around if anything if they are going to play. I think a 1-1 draw is probably a fair assessment. I think if we're being honest.
Sam,
I think we're going to struggle to create many chances today. Like Craig says, when you're playing Xhaka and El Neni are sitting deep, we struggle. This is the thing. When we're playing with two deep lying midfielders, we struggle to create stuff. You know, we really struggle to get on the front foot and create things. So for me, I'm sorry, Leicester with their team, the way they play and the way we've set up today, I can't see us getting anything out of this game. I really can't. I think we're going to lose. I think we'll lose 2-0. Yeah.
Craig?
I'm with Sam. I can't see us. Look, I hope in 90 minutes' time I'm eating a big slice of humble pie. But
exactly, me too.
Yeah, the way Leicester are playing at the moment, the way Brendan Rodgers has got them going, you know, and the way they're playing, I can't see us winning today, especially with this lineup. You know, I mean, you've got that lineup there. You've got to look at them players and look at how many mistakes are in those players that are in that team. There's a mistake in nearly all of them. So.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at you. I'm mistaking all of them. I'm sorry. I found that funny. I agree.
No problem, mate.
I just want you to know I'm not laughing at you.
That's all right, mate. No, but I don't mind if you are. I can't. I think they're going to be too quick for us on the counter. They're going to be too quick for us all over the pitch. You know, they're a great team. Brendan Rodgers has got them playing some magnificent football. And credit to him and credit to Leicester City. They are. I mean, this argument about taking our top 6 place, even though we're 11th, they really are replacing people up there, and they're really doing well. And so they should be up there because they're playing some lovely stuff. I can't see Arsenal winning today, Tanner, I'm afraid, mate. So I'd hope for a draw, but 1-1 draw. Hope I'm wrong, but I can't see us winning.
Yeah. I'm with Sam. I see 2-0. I don't see any way that we create anything today unless unless Willian plays out of his skin and you know, shows us something that he hasn't shown all season long. You know, Pepe has a master class, something to that effect. Who knows? Maybe we get a couple of free kicks just outside the box and Xhaka buries 2 or 3 of them with his left foot. Who knows? But no, I don't see any way that we. I don't see us getting many opportunities, let alone shots on net, let alone any goals. So I think it's going to be a long day, and I'm going to be pretty pissed off that I woke up at 4:45 in the morning.
I just say while we're on air? Can I just say while we're on air to you two boys in America, don't you ever let anyone tell you that you are not real Arsenal supporters.
Oh, thank you, Craig.
Yeah, appreciate that.
All right,
man.
don't you dare, because it doesn't matter where you are in this world. If you go around with this on you, you're an Arsenal fan. And if you're especially getting up at 5:30 in the morning to do a podcast, right? Let alone, I struggle. If Arsenal are kicking off at 12:30, I'm in UK time. I struggle to get out of bed for a 12:30 kickoff. But let alone a 5:30 kickoff. So please, when you're on your social medias, and I'm putting this out to everyone that's watching this in America, do not let anyone tell you you're not real Arsenal fans. You have my utmost respect, every single one of you, for getting up at what time you do to follow this club. Come on, you boys! Come on, you Arsenal boys! Come on!
Give us something for the effort today, right? Give us a little something for the effort, guys. I really appreciate you coming on and doing this with me. Sam, go ahead, shout yourself out. Tell everybody where they can find you real quick.
I'll tell you what, I haven't got my own channel. I used to. I just found it too much trouble to keep it going, so I don't have my own channel, but I'm on Twitter. I'm at 1980_Greenwood, and I'm mostly on other people's podcasts. So yeah, it's been great fun. Thanks for having me. It's really, really good.
Always a pleasure, man.
I just want to say, I just want to back up Craig as well. I mean, you guys are awesome. The American guys, you're awesome, and what I love about you guys, you have a slightly different perspective on things. That's really interesting. I really like it because you guys. Sorry, I don't mean to drag. I just want to just have one little minute here. I just want to say, you know, you guys, the way you grow up in a society where, you know, football, you guys call soccer, you know, it's not.
I don't call it that. I don't call it that.
Yeah, sorry. We'll say football.
I don't call it that.
Football is not the prominent sport. It's far from the prominent sport where you guys grow up. And, you know, you guys don't have that close relationship to it as we do in Europe. But you guys really make up for it. You really do in terms of your enthusiasm. I mean, you guys know probably more about Arsenal than we do, you know, and the hardcore effort you guys show getting up all ungodly times of the day to watch Arsenal. That is real true support, and I just want to back up what Craig says on that.
I appreciate it, Sam.
I just want to take my 10 seconds to thank Craig and to thank Sam. That means a lot to me. I wish you could see the goosebumps. I'm being serious that I had when you guys were saying that. My mom is from Germany. My dad is from South America. They instilled a love of football in me when I was a little kid that never, ever died. And, to hear you guys say stuff like that really warms my heart at this ungodly hour in the morning.
I'll tell you without going into the full blown story of this. I'll tell you real quick. Much like Glenn, it was my grandfather. My maternal roots lie in the United Kingdom, Scotland, Wales, and England, but I couldn't tell you what generation of my family came over here from there. But at any rate, my grandfather is the one that really nourished and helped to grow the seed that sprouted in 1989, watching that Arsenal team beat Liverpool, which is very ironic because whenever I visit him and I say, "Hey, Pap, Arsenal are on TV. You want to watch with me?" And he says, "Nope, don't care." He has no interest whatsoever. It's not his. This is not his brand of football, but he saw a passion in me that he helped to grow, and so I can relate to Glenn on that front. Even though my grandfather does not watch the sport really at all, he'll be lucky if he can. And I'm going to call it soccer for now, but he's lucky if he can spell soccer, as he says. So, but no, gentlemen, thank you very much for the kind words. Matt, go ahead, tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, AFC Red Room, both on Twitter and on YouTube. So relatively new YouTube channel. But if you fancy it, just drop over to YouTube and give me a like and a subscribe. Yeah, if you're feeling generous. But
definitely give
thank you, Tanner, for having me on today.
Of course, man.
And absolutely echo what Sam and Craig have been saying about you guys over in America, because the passion, the knowledge, the insight is such an interesting perspective. So 100% agree with that.
Matt, are you the guy with all the wicked on-screen overlays and stuff that I put out on Twitter?
Yes,
is that you?
It might be. Yeah.
No way! I didn't even. I just. That is some setup, mate. I'll tell you what. That I'm highly envious of that setup. It looks so cool. Yeah. Really cool, man.
Really
cool. I'm happy to share the love in terms of how it's all done and stuff, because it's not actually all that difficult. So I'm happy to share with anyone.
No. I get you. I get you. I'm setting up what I have to set up.
I just want to point out one thing, Mike in Virginia. I think there's I detect a twinge of jealousy from you, my friend. So you know what? Just wait your turn there, big fella. Your turn's coming. Don't worry.
He likes sucking mine.
Boom. But hey, real quick, before Craig, do I need to let you shout out anything, Craig? Because I wouldn't think
you do.
Everybody knows
you need to let me shout out the same old Arsenal podcast America. Get over there and follow them and follow them on Twitter. They do the show every Tuesday. Is it 6:30 PST, 9:30 EST?
Yeah, 9:45. We go at
9:45. Go over there. They've got a Twitter, and I just want to say what a fantastic job you're doing on it, mate. When I decided I was going to do something like that, you were the only man for the job.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
And I just want to say one last thing to Craig. When the guys are arguing, Craig, try to get in there and give him a little bit. Because every time you talked this morning, you needed a rim shot behind you. You were friggin' fantastic. So get in there more with those guys.
I will.
I want to nurture one thing here, because Mike from the Gooners pod put up that West Ham are going to finish 8th. Craig, you want to place a friendly wager on that with him by chance?
No. He's probably right.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That's it for us, guys. We're going to get out of here. As we say here in America, we're going to start our walk up to the stadium, grab a couple of roadies, and get involved. So appreciate everybody out there for tuning in. If you're in America, Mike, I know you are. Thanks for getting up this early. Actually, Mike's been up, so I'm not going to thank you for waking up. You've been up. But no, seriously, thank you everybody for watching.
He's had free baconators by now, isn't he?
Probably. Drop a like for us, please, if you liked what you saw. and you're not already subscribed to the channel, please, I'd really appreciate that as well. And at the end of the day, it's always the same. Come on, you Gunners.
Come on.